So people ask me all the time, how did you get into migraine? How did you become the go-to doctor for migraine? Have people coming in from all over the world for treatment. And they say you must have had migraine or your family members did. And no, actually, I originally thought I was going to be specializing in MS or traumatic brain injury. I had just written a paper and presented it at a research conference on MS and thought that's what I'm going to do. But when I actually started treating MS patients, I was finding that a good number of them were actually having migraines as well, and it was very debilitating. And I thought, how can I help these people better? And so because of my background in neurology, I was finding that they have this altered brain state or genetically altered brain state that the MS patients with migraines that didn't have migraines didn't have. And so we started diving into this more, and I looked in the research and found that they were talking about this altered brain state, but they were talking about it globally, not individually. And that's actually the big difference between what we do and just migraine treatment in general, is this individualistic standpoint. Because two patients that have the same exact symptoms can have totally different causes for those symptoms. So this is why something your friend does to help migraines may not help you. And we'll talk about that in a sec. And so flashback to when I was in school, and there was this doctor in San Francisco. They were looking for a student intern to help put together some curriculum and program. And long story short, they chose me. And what he did, it was kind of funny actually, he would joke about having to be careful when he tells people that he's gotten 400 women pregnant, because he actually helped with infertility and female hormone issues. And so I was able to learn all of his hormonal background and training and all this stuff that we just don't get in school, things that I was not trained on. And so this is why I put together a book. I'm teaching a program on this, because this is stuff that not only doctors need to know and need to understand how to diagnose and treat, but also patients need to know what doctors do this, where they can go to for proper treatment. And that's why we're putting all this information together. And so if you followed us for any amount of time, you know that I have what I call the bucket theory. And the bucket theory is essentially taking the neurological understanding that there's an altered brain state in each migraine patient that's different in each migraine patient. But the part of the brain that leads to migraine, if you imagine it like a bucket, when that bucket fills up with stressors and it overflows, you get a migraine. The most common stressors are neurological, hormonal, musculoskeletal, and nutritional. Those are the four main ones. So if you, let's take the example of your friend, if you and your friend have the same migraine symptoms and they try a diet, and man, they feel awesome. Their migraines got so much better. And you try the same diet and it didn't help out. Well, the diet part of it, or the nutrition part of it, was probably the thing filling up their bucket. Whereas with you, you had too many other things filling it up, and so it didn't make a change. And this is where not only looking at the neurological underpinning and how to treat that is so important, but also looking at all these factors at the same time is so vital to treatment. This is kind of what sets us apart from what everybody else is doing, is understanding not only what to do, but what is going to work best for that patient that is in front of us right now. And so this has been the most exciting part about learning this and kind of telling other patients about it, because when I talk to somebody and a light bulb goes on, they say, oh my gosh, that's why my migraines got worse 20 years ago, or this is why this treatment stopped working, or whatever. It allows them to take control of their life. And so we've seen hundreds and hundreds of patients at this point that have been able to play with their kids again, or go back to work, or start exercising, or just really take control of their life back. And that's what's super, super exciting. And so I personally believe that this approach, this type of treatment, is going to be not only the gold standard, but the future of healthcare for migraine. And we're just really excited to be introducing it to you today.